Alan and Michael, your bus must have been pretty much on time today. God bless you for getting here. Started early. And everybody was here. I mean, just took some special effort, obviously, to come out into this deep cold, snow, ice, to rejoice. And that's what this Sunday is about for all of us. I'm mindful that there's another good group of people maybe watching online. So I'm not going to cut the homily short just because we're short on people. It's not long, not long. Imagine John the Baptist is in prison, practically a dungeon. And why is he there? Because he pointed out the immorality of the king. He did not commit a crime. He's not in prison because of a crime. He's in prison because the king unjustly uses his power and doesn't like what he hears coming from John. And his wife especially didn't like it. And so for no criminal reason, he is put into prison. And from that prison, he has heard what Jesus is doing. Remember, he baptized him. He baptized Jesus some time ago. And he even said in one of the other Gospels, that's the Lamb of God. That's the one. And I would imagine at his baptism, John and Jesus looked into each other's eyes. And there was a recognition that, yes, I am the one. But now, in prison, and hearing what Jesus is doing that didn't quite match his expectations, he wonders, is Jesus the one? Or should we still be looking for another? Jesus' response to those disciples is almost word for word what the prophet Isaiah said in the first reading. And John would have known the prophet Isaiah's words. And so when the disciples come back and tell him, this is what Jesus said, that would ring true for Isaiah. It's like, yep, that's what Isaiah said. And even the poor will have the good news proclaimed to them. So John surely, through all his doubt, reaffirmed his faith that Jesus is the one. But we have to do this patiently. That's what St. James talks about today. We have to be patient. John, you're going to have to be patient. Painful as it is sometimes to wait, painful as it is to see what's going on around us, James says to his community, patient waiting is what is called for. Most of us in church today have probably never spent any time in jail or prison. Perhaps a few have visited someone in jail or prison, but we don't necessarily have a lot of that experience for ourselves. And yet, when I think about it, haven't we all experienced some sorts of imprisonment? Our addictions, our compulsions, our fears, our griefs, our angers, imprisoned sometimes by my own judgments, my own opinions imprison me and keep me sometimes at a distance from other people who don't see the truth like I see it. I don't know why they can't see it the way I see it. But I'm a prisoner sometimes of my own opinions and judgments. So we all have certain prisons we might live in, bound tightly by some of this. And we too need to know in times of doubt, he is the one. Jesus is the one. And God does remain. God does walk with us through all terrible stuff that goes on in our world and the stuff in our own lives. So today, the church is asked to rejoice. And we want to try to do that ourselves by reaffirming our own faith in God, even in the hard times, even in those times of seeming imprisonment. So we look around us for signs that Jesus said, if you look and if you listen, you'll see it. Well, look around. Just looking around at who's in the church, people of faith have gathered here. We're going to celebrate the Eucharist, which is a powerful presence of Christ among us. Next door is the warming center the next 2 days. The numbers of volunteers and people who are going to be giving time so that people have a place to be in this intense cold. There's great signs of compassion, care, and love. Those are the signs that abound in our world, even when there's so much else that's painful. So look around and see the signs that indeed the Lord has come into this world of ours. We'll see him not just in a crib, not just in tabernacles, but in the loving actions of everyone in this church and so many other people who give evidence that the Lord is in their lives. The Spirit is guiding us. So we have to be patient, as James tells us, but let's at the same time rejoice in all that God is accomplishing.